we will have the presentation by Fuma later on in the event. At this point, I would want to call on the chairman of the occasion today for his remarks, Architect Ibrahim Abdullahi Haruna, FNIA, PPNIA. Round of applause, please.
Just have the privilege of holding the microphone and just to give an opening remarks. I would want to say one or two things that I know about Professor Ekundayo Adeyemi, because it was during our time that he was posted to take over the Department of Architecture here. I recall in 1971, when I applied for admission into Ahmadu University, I did not put architecture as my first choice. It was my second choice. I was more interested in doing mechanical engineering. But later somebody told me that the reason I advanced for writing mechanical engineering is more fertile in the Department of Architecture. Because I would not be the engineer I wanted to be, in overall engine oil and everywhere. That's what I wanted to be. So they said I can change before the course started, and I changed. And when it comes to changing, it was a British head of department at that time. And he didn't like the idea of my leaving mechanical engineering and coming to read architecture. He actually said to me, "Are you sure you can read architecture?" So that was most two. In part one, I gave P minus. Everyone I do is getting P minus. And it remained, we did 3 projects, remaining 2 more projects. If I get P minus and they give me F, 1 F, it means I will repeat the year. So, Osama Omorele, one of the students, I hope by the grace of God he's still alive, was passing through the studio and he saw my design. Neighborhood sketches. He said, listen, what did you score? I said to him, P minus. He said, are you fighting the head of the department? I said, I don't know, no, I'm not fighting anybody. And he said, if he gives you 1 F, you will repeat the year. And if you repeat the year, you will keep repeating the year for every year. So I didn't know what to do. Fortunately, Oka Abai, those all of the elderly ones here, I'm sure they know him. Oka Abai came up with the idea that British lecturer, his contract is finishing, and he has applied for a new one. He was a British head of department. And he suggested, Okarabai was then the president of Society of Architectural Students. So he suggested we should write a petition to go on. That time we were writing to go on, we were not writing petitions. And he died at the end. He took over, he took over the department. And that's the brightness of his being around. And in that situation, he helped in so many ways. In part 3, when I ran into the crisis of buildability, my project was good, but buildability 0. I had to find a way of putting. So I left. I tried, and then I consulted Professor Adeyemi. He looked at it. He linked me up with Sister Banovich, very versatile lecturer. She looked at it. She could not find a solution. So I didn't know what to do. I went back to Professor Adeyemi and said, "Sir, I can't solve this problem. Please permit me to declare academic bankruptcy." He said, "What do you mean by bankruptcy?" I said, "I will go home and stay and come back next session and continue." He said, "No, that is not what to do." He said, "In architecture, if you are locked up like that, leave your environment, change environment, and let's see what happens." So that's how I left my room. I took my bag. I went to Tugumada. I spent a night with a friend. I went to Funtua to see my aunt I had never seen. It was at Funtua that a solution came up. And I came back to show Professor Adeyemi. He said, "How did you solve it?" I said, "I took one building and flattened it the other way around." They call it the rampasé. So by doing that, buildability problem was solved. Professor Adeyemi said, "This is a fantastic." I asked you that question because I too had been sleeping over it and could not find a solution. And Professor Adeyemi is not just there, he's not just an academician, he was. Professor Adeyemi had proven to me that with him around in the department, everything is possible. I took a very difficult thesis topic, the design of police headquarters. And my aim in the design is to improve police-public relationship through architecture. And I finished all my theoretical works. I was working quite ahead of my class. And then it got to a point when I needed the data. And my first attempt was to try Kaduna Police Headquarters. Late Victor Pam was then the commissioner there. Victor Pam, when he saw me, would go and ask me what I was there for. He drove me away. He said, "You students, you're trying to play around with the police. Why don't you go and design army headquarters and see how they will deal with you?" So everything I did the past 3 months was washed. I came back crying. I went straight into the head of the department's office. Professor Adeyemi was there. I said, "What's the problem?" I said, "This is the problem." He said, why do you have to go to them? Can't you do the thesis without going to them? I said, "Sir, you are likely one of those who will ask for the authenticity of the data I was using. So I need to support this." He said, "Okay, now what do we do?" I said to him, "Write for me a letter to the Inspector General of Police and introduce me." The introduction, it's a big game for the police. So later he sent all the commissioners of police in the country that they should make sure I'm not embarrassing their territory. And that was how I got the full access. I got all the data I wanted, and I always remember Professor Adeyemi, and I appreciate him. When I told my partners that I'm coming for this event, architect Ahmadu is one of those that were touched by the professor's kindness. He said even that he could not make it to come this morning because he just arrived yesterday evening, he will give me a bit of a story about his own interaction with the professor. And under his own interaction, they were presenting the intermediate presentation of his MSc thesis. And as he was presenting, he didn't know that two of the lecturers also had issues to grind with his mentor. So they shattered his design completely to the point that he had to start again. He was so frustrated. He came out, he just packed his box and he left for Lagos, where his parents were staying. And the professor didn't see him 2-3 days. Because at the time when he did the presentation, the Professor Ekundayo was not in the country. But when he came back, he noticed his absence. He asked him, I told him why. So he said, who is his best friend in the class? He said, go and convince him to come back. He did. So he came back. So Ekundayo called his mentor and had a meeting with Kulfi and the design, on the design Kulfi presented. And he told the mentor, go and tell him to see lecturer Soso so that he can introduce some of the features, roof elements that will give the building he's designing some good character. And he did, and that's how he scaled through his own MSc thesis. He's so grateful, and we hold this professor with very high esteem. And anytime we have design issues to solve in practice, we always remember how tolerant he has always been, and how ductile his approach to architecture is. Please, I can just pick up the microphone and not talk about this, and I want you to take that as my remarks. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to the chairman. It is evident why he was chosen to be chairman of the event, because you can see his remarks were very personal. A round of applause for the chairman. I want to recognize the president of the National Expo of the NIA. We have with us Architect Chike Ibianu Chamberlain, HGS of the Institute. We have Architect Mutala Babaji, FNIA, Admissions Committee Chair. Architect Wale Ajayi, the Chair, Special Projects. Architect Wale Ajayi would be presenting the purpose of our event here today, the address by former his representative, Architect Wale Ajayi.
The distinguished fathers and mothers in architecture, the chairman of today's occasion, the man someone like me used to call grandfather of architecture. because somebody of my generation, I have father in architecture, but Emeritus Professor Adeyemi is a grandfather of architecture to me. We are here to celebrate him, and we should take note of one thing in Nigerian system. Maybe it's a minus for us. It's like they don't use to celebrate our heroes. And this is a great minus. And now we have a body called Friends of Mobolaji Adeyemi. Mobolaji Adeyemi Architects, FNIA, BNIA, is the 30th president of the Nigeria Institute of Architects, NIA. And luckily enough, she is the second female president of the institute. Maybe that is why we chose to do it differently. I didn't realize that whenever you have woman at the heads of affairs, sorry my gender, they used to do it in style, and they choose to do it differently. The president's seat is a sort of office has been trying to look for a way of celebrating our heroes, and that is one of the reasons we, her friends, came together and formed a body called Friends of Mobolaji Adeyemi FOMA to establish some that will be on our name. Yes, some may be thinking that just FOMA is all about when Architect Mobolaji Adeyemi will be only there as the PNI, president of the NIA. No, this is a legacy. This is a body that we've established and is going to continue even after our tenure as the president of NIA. And that is why if you see everything about us, we don't add the word PNI to it. Just pure Friends of Mobolaji Adeyemi. Adeyemi, president of NIA, is just for 2 years. It will come and it will leave. Then Mobolaji Adeyemi will remain. So on this note, we are here today to celebrate Baba Adeyemi as our first legacy project, first legacy project of this body. And it is on this note I would like to appreciate AAF, that is ABU Architects Forum, for their support and their conjunction in also launching today the E-Studio. We all know the importance of E-Studio into the profession, into this profession and the upcoming generations. So on this note, I would like to inform others as we are continuing with the program. I know that you are doing it, mommy, today. We are doing it together, and we believe so much that you are teaching our generation how we are going to celebrate you. Everybody on this podium, I know today you are celebrating Baba Adeyemi. Not that you are celebrating Baba Adeyemi, you are teaching our generation how we should celebrate you when it is your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that presentation, the purpose of the event. I'm sure now why we're here is very clear indeed. On that note, I would want to go through a list of donors for the FOMA project. It's a long list. I'll go through some names now and others later. We have ticketed consults of Architect Wale Ajayi, who just was here just now. Round of applause for him, please. Also, one of our donors, we have Architect Bulus Jambi Wada, Architect Lawrence Onibon, Architect Obolaji Adeyemi, of course, Architect Aleye Sefulayi Ahmadu, Architect Mufa Molkat Manasi, Architect Abdulrazak Adio Olarewanju, Architect MC Suswan, Architect Mohammed Ibrahim, Architect Mutar Ali, Architect Titus Ojumobi, Architect Tony Alabi, Architect Adebukola Oyeshiku. Round of applause for that. Architect Yashi, Architect Esimako Nnamdi, Architect Chike Chamberlain, of course, who is here with us. Mr. Garuba Oladimeji Odua Muiwa, Architect Omigodu Oyegoke Adirola, Architect Williams Adeyinka Adeyemi, Mr. Waki. I will announce the other donors later on in the event. We have tributes of late Professor Adeyemi, who will be playing a video documentary presentation highlighting Professor Adeyemi's life achievements and contributions to architecture. This is produced by Architect Adebukola Oyeshiku and documented by Covenant University students, Ottawa, Ogun State. The video documentary, please.
Secrets of successful people, visions they are in the stories. The life odyssey of Professor Ekundayo Adeyinka Adeyemi is one that is set with many successes and accomplishments. For almost 25 years, Adeyemi, a professor of architecture, has been streaming the academic landscape and in courses, charting pathways of excellence, expanding the frontiers of knowledge, and raising as well as mentoring great academics across the globe. Popularly referred to as grandfather of architecture in Nigeria, Adeyemi has been a professor for 31 years. As a pathfinder, he has culminated first in his field. Apart from being the first professor of architecture in Covenant University, he is also the first professor of architecture in entire West Africa. As a matter of fact, his contributions to the development of architecture teaching and practice in Nigeria cannot be overemphasized. Besides his numerous scholarly publications in the field, many professors of architecture, seasoned architects, and many other people in various walks of life in Nigeria may have in one way or the other passed through his tutelage and mentorship.
And I taught in secondary model school architecture. That was where I was. When my brother came about from England, I came to visit administration. And when I saw the things that I'd done, my paintings, my points, it was happy. I wondered why I was going to do house. So no, that is not because of me, that because I should do with architecture, because that is what I just completed. So you know, that's my father and I'm following Jesus, which I did. By the time I entered the middle, in fact, if you look at the list of students, who graduated from the University, I was number one in graduations. So I told you, the first graduate of the University My some of my colleagues in the Ekundayo works that time. Each time we went to the park, we were so young. And each time they tell us stories. One of them was so captivated that she said, look, she wanted to do education by months. And that was how one of them, she was very busy at Emeritus. Got interested, and she saw that for me. And that was how she ended up in Zaria. In my case, I wasn't attracted by the concept of that profession. But the one that I was trying to get from me, because my brother was already an architect, but I have my daughter. And here I am my mentor all the time. Somebody I elevated, I wanted to be like him, I wanted to talk like him, and it was everything to me. The interested in service first. The interested in service, money will always come. And that is the reason that I followed all my life. The good service and whatever comes character, it's like the David who said, that seek you first, the kingdom of God, and everything shall be added unto you. Seeking first service to the nation and to mankind, and all the other things we are able to do. For 20 years, I enjoyed every year of my leadership as part of the purpose. And because when I was speaking, I regretfully did this. In fact, I've become so much a part of the department that some people do refer to me as an institution, that I become an institution in itself. And I even nearly got an erroneous assumption that perhaps without me, nothing would happen there. And I delayed my survival because eventually I just sat down and I said, look. But when I do that impression that things cannot go ahead without me. That if anything happened to me, the department will continue. So that was why I just had to get my sabbatical in 1981. And I went to go as a professor to Sheffield University. And I came back and I continued my job. In fact, when I came back, we were then given the challenge of inviting a nuclear research center from Bello University. And this took us around the world. I was really pleased by this. Myself, people like institution like and some of the government, we went from New York, we went to Bangladesh, we went to Japan, to Malaysia, to Bangkok, to Bangladesh, from Bangladesh to England, and then back to Nigeria. So it was rapid. I was never doing the first class, and to the country, what they did before. In 1986, I asked all the way again to start off the school of the architecture at the Federal University of Technology. So when I moved to Accra, I had another challenge. I was prepared to do school. In fact, I was to found it, and I did it. But shortly after I did it, the school was crashed. And I said, look, how could I go back to where I already stated the plan? And go back and say, really, I was really disturbed. In fact, when I was leaving Zaria, it was like somebody told me to do that. Not knowing exactly what it was doing to me. I was really in the place I lived for 17 years. I was doing that place for another place. The only consolation was that April was close to my hometown. But Peter invited me to come and assist. That was one year member from Somalia. So it was another person who told me of the intention. I was very happy that Peter recognized my abilities and leaders. So I told him, I said, look, when I did that, I did so with the intention of going to work. And because of this people, I didn't think it was right for me to just go and I said, nonetheless, what I will do to assist you, I will do so. So that was how I ended up doing lectures to them. I was also handling some of their students, their PhD students at that time. And then in the meantime, I became the medical assistant. And I said, look, God, you are working in very wonderful. When I became the medical assistant, MSC E-Studio and studies. So I was combining the duties of the medical assistant with that of the dentist. In the meantime, the MSC, thought I could assist with the supervision of projects going on in the universities. I think there were about 24, so federally funded universities at that time. So I was made the chairman of the management committee, and I was the good for 2 years. On the 1st of December 1999, government announced that I was vice chancellor of my career. When I was doing my sabbatical and died, I had a student. And that student came to me and he talked to me about his father, who was my student. And I said, oh, Ajay. Yeah. So he said his father gave me a picture. When I was trying to moderate his design work. So I was, he brought that picture and I saw his father as my student. He was standing by the drawing and I was trying to correct his drawing. It was then that I look, I think, really, I've been attention to 2 generations, the father and the son. So then when I got to that, and the bishop, I think it was the bishop of the Chancellor, who addressed me as the grandfather of architecture. I think he wasn't too far away from me. Because I dedicated not only the father, I've also educated the son. I think that is how far I've gone. I haven't gone beyond that. And that is a very important example. When you teach, you see somebody who's coming in for sure of himself, and then he ends up being a very competence. I'm not telling that he goes out of school and becomes a man of distinction or a woman of substance. I think that's really better. And that is how I see my students and so many of them who are rich. There was a time when I felt that they are so successful that perhaps I should also be like them. But that is material. But material work is so big. It's so small compared with moral and spiritual work. And I think that is what I think I have achieved. The profession of architecture places a lot of responsibility on the practitioner. The architect is expected to design for either the individual or for a corporate project. And of course, in this, whatever you start has got to be there for years. In fact, it said that a modern building, for instance, would last a long time, it lasts hundreds of years. Consequently, we are very careful what we are doing. We architects are very different from the medical practitioners. That once a medical practitioner makes a mistake, the mistake is there. Of course, the patient is there. Unless it was a professional practice. But with the architects, you cannot afford or not competent professional practice. And yet, your buildings, where you make mistakes, environment would stay for hundreds of years. And I think nothing pays one more than seeing one stay on the place all the time. Things will do it. Not only that, the client, for instance, is investing a whole lot of money for those buildings. When they buy the security houses for themselves, it may constitute, that amount of money may constitute all of his life savings. And it will make a mistake on the design of his house. It's something that is going to regret all his life. And they were very, they have a very, and not, they are not satisfied with it. The builder that one and the poor building until after they get from the satisfied. Who have everything, and of course the architects need to work for it. Apart from company policy, we have a very good job so that we don't allow the money that is spent by clients to do that. The attributes of the architects, and they are very well established by the the architects actually protest the knowledgeable of law and knowledgeable of philosophy, the knowledge of astronomy, the philosopher. All of these are still very important today. Somebody said that our philosophy has changed. Anyway, and I think the architect has to continue to change his orientation. And in my own case, I have seen architecture beyond the simple lines. I think architecture speaks a lot about who you are. And my own nature has probably research has to fit me properly into the profession. The attributes of the hard work, the attributes of honesty, the attributes of sincerity, the ability.
So Adeyemi stands out as an icon, a sage who through the help of God has become a blessing to humanity. May his wisdom, strength, and health never abate as he continues to expand the frontiers of knowledge, raising generations of leaders for the continent of Africa. Amen.
Thank you very much to the director of this documentary. It was indeed very clear how properly his life. A round of applause, please. I want to recognize the presence of fellows of NIA here with us today. We have architect Ekundayo Adeyinka Adeyemi, architect Akin Fumihan, FNIA, and his wife seated right behind beside him, architect Funke Olafimihan, architect Bello, FNIA, architect Stephen Filia, of course the chairman Kaduna, FNIA, architect Salisu Abubakar, round of applause for him, architect Samuel Obaje, FNIA, architect Kabiru Deyemu, FNIA, architect Bruce Jambi, FNIA, architect Dauda Turaki, FNIA, architect Mustafa Mukhtar, FNIA, architect Ahmadu Agilu, FNIA, round of applause there, and architect Baba Isimu. It is my honor to call on the Vice Chancellor of Bello University Zaria, here represented by the Provost, Postgraduate College, Professor Nasir Shuaibu, for his remarks. Round of applause for him.
The chairman who has actually shown the way for no protocols, and I would want to continue with that. The NIM president, fellow alumni, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow students, good morning. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, who is unavoidably absent, I would like to welcome you all to Ahmadu Bello University for this very, very important initiative as far as the university is concerned. Because the chairman has already talked about law protocol, I'll try to go straight to the point, because when I look at the agenda, there was some architectural design in such a way that there was no time when it was going to start, but I know that it's going to be 2.5 hours. So let me manage the time so that at least I will be precise. Honestly, when I was asked to come and represent the Vice Chancellor, CV coming from Faculty of Life Sciences, and I was to give tribute to this remarkable man. I was just telling the Vice Chancellor, somebody from the faculty would have come to do this. But sitting down and I see some of my friends who were here at Ahmadu Bello University, particularly I knew about this remarkable man, the head of department, through a friend that we want to recognize, someone like you. I think we've been here together throughout our graduates, and I would like to recognize you. So, and then I've seen some faces also that I've seen while we were here as graduates. So I would like to welcome all of you. Let me just say this. I think maybe to go straight to the point, this is a very, very remarkable initiative by former and AAF, that is unveiling the bust of Emeritus Professor Ekundayo Adeyinka Adeyemi and the launching of appeal fund for MSC E-Studio. This is a very remarkable initiative for a very remarkable man, by remarkable students in a very remarkable institution, Ahmadu Bello University, the best public university. Thank you very much, and we hope that we are going to see more performers and fun friends of whatever. So thank you very much, and I hope this initiative will continue, that every year we come here to celebrate another friend is over there of Ekundayo, Professor Ahmadu, and all the rest. So thank you very much, and I will hope you all come back to your
Thank you very much. A round of applause for the Vice Chancellor. Thank you, sir, for that remark. At this point, I would want to call for a tribute speech. This is to be given by Architect MJ Foraja, PDNI, Chairman, ABU Architects Foundation, who is here being represented by the Dean of Environmental Design, Professor Abubakar Abdullahi. Round of applause for him.
May the peace and blessings of God be upon all. Good morning. Well, my chairman and host, the VC, has already said we have to follow suit. Either you stand or lean on the existing protocol, we are welcome. But I have to recognize, we are taught by our elder, in particular, Vice Chancellor, always talk about mentors and mentees, and a day like this, we have to also, as we are celebrating the mentor of mentors, the path also has to be mentors for one day so that they become also mentors of mentors. I have to say, the chair on this occasion, the person of architect Ahmadu, past president of Nigerian Institute of Architects, and also board of trustees of the institute, that's the Kano chapter. And I also know him to be also one of the trustees in various capacities, national level and in Kano, and also at the same time the government. I also want to share with you to tell you that most of us here, especially those of us from Kano, just like he's a mentee in the presence of Professor Adeyemi, where his mentees. Thank you so much. My presidents, whether I'm leading on the existing protocol, I have to mention my president, who I believe for the first time I spent the night in Ibadan in 2020 with my humble self balance service because of our clearance call, because we believe in her and we believe she believes in us. And just like I said this morning in the Vice Chancellor's office, if you are looking for ABU lunatic, then look for my president. She's whenever you talk about ABU Zaria, her body language may have just changed, you know. And wherever she is, we happen to be a different forum. When you just say ABU, she says, she continues to talk about her days and what ABU has done for her, has done for her family and family like that. But we say thank you for that, for being a good ambassador of ABU. Architect Wole Ajayi has said why we're here. But permit me also, before I say the little what I have something I have to read it from Architect Fowler. I'm representing him, so I won't utter a word when I start my own. To be all his words. But after his words, no more. So I'm seizing this advantage since I'm giving the mic to say my own words. I also want to add quickly that apart from ABU Zaria, former has championed that in each geopolitical zone, that is friends of Mobalaji Adeyemi, put together that in each geopolitical zone, they have to touch some schools of architecture. So which means after ABU in Northeast, there will be something for Northwest, there will be something for North Central, there will be something for Southeast, there will be something for Southwest, and there will be something for South. So, we say thank you and thank you. We thank the friends of former for this initiative for architecture and architects in Nigeria. Having said that, then permit me to now just read from what also another mentor, Architect Raja, sent. This he has written himself because of the importance of this occasion. He was with us about 2 weeks ago, led the Akon acquisition team. And so it took him a while to go back home and then find the course. It's time, all of us are on that path. By the time you travel that distance, go back and to come back at that age. So we give glory to God for the good health, wisdom, and may God continue to grant this good health. And may we also, when we get that level, have that privilege. Thank you. So now we title it as a tribute to Professor E.A. Adeyemi. Professor E-Adeyemi is a product of ABU and one of the first graduates in record time of 5 years in 1965 or 1966. Has been a blessing to Ahmadu Bello University and great number of Nigerian architects today. He was a co-founder of Ashton Nigeria Limited with architect G.Y. Aduku in 1970, with office in Kaduna and Lagos. He used to visit Zaria to take lectures. The British and European who held sway did not really allow him much space to lecture. So which means even though he's coming in and out, because then you don't have all were patrons. In 1970, that when he fully returned after his PhD, he returned after his PhD. And he went further to say that he deserved to be honored and celebrated by all of us. Architecture in Nigeria started from ABU having been moved from Ibadan to Zaria. The firm foundation of producing architects in Nigerian universities started from Zaria, and the father of this can conveniently be said to be Professor E-Adeyemi. One is privileged to have been a student during his period of transition, from when all the lecturers were expatriates to when Professor Adeyemi took up the leadership of this School of Architecture. I recall when the expatriate leadership of the school, that is the person of people like Architect Bodin, Architect Ballas, and others, wrote to discourage and frustrate the effort of the student led by Architect Justice Okaga, just corroborating what the chairman of the occasion had said earlier. Then he went further to say that the then leaders of the Architectural Student Association, to get more qualified lecturers attracted to the school, the expatriate leadership in the school then advised them not to come. Their reason was that Nigeria then does not need fully qualified architects, but middle cadre technicians architects. Fortunately, the reply of these overseas students to the student included this advice they got from the in-house expatriate lecturers. This led to a serious demonstration by the students, and major representation was made to the then 12 northern governors, who, through the then Vice Chancellor, Professor Ahmadu, gave the expatriates 72 hours to leave the country. Professor Adeyemi came in at this crucial time after taking over from Architect Ballas to stabilize, sustain, and commence the rebuilding of architecture of the architecture school we know today. In those days, students would stay for 8 years to be asked to go without any qualification and frustrated. This led to the two-tier degree of BSc and MSc, which Professor Adeyemi eventually revived to what it is today in ABU and other universities. He was close to most of his students, approachable at all times. He was a humble, professional man throughout his lifetime and imparted much to all that came across him. He deserved more than what we are honoring him with today. The good thing is we all acknowledge all the wonderful things he has accomplished. Therefore, I take this opportunity to commend our president, Architect Mobalaji Adeyemi, friends of Mobalaji Adeyemi, the department and the university for this wonderful gesture. AAF is glad to partner with you on this. May the soul of our dear Professor E-Adeyemi continue to rest in peace. Amen.
Thank you very much, sir, for that tribute. I want to recognize the presence of architect Dr. Gafar Abdasser, the head of departments of the Department of Architecture. It is my honor to, at this point, call on the family representative of architects, the daughter of Professor Architect Adebukola Oyeshiku for her tribute. She is the daughter of Professor
Thank you very much for being here today. I'll start on the existing protocols and say we deeply appreciate this opportunity today. I'll be standing here with my brother. I'll read a very short speech within the time frame we have been given. From my mother, she really wanted to come here today, but we actually had to discourage her. She's over 80 and she's in good shape, but we felt we were okay to represent her. So I have just a few short words she wanted me to share, which I will read, and my brother would actually say just a few words on behalf of my other siblings. He came all the way from Canada as well. Standing on existing protocols, to the excellencies on the high table, distinguished guests, family and friends, I stand here before you today with a mix of emotions, yet filled with pride and gratitude. I'm honored to see this recognition of my late husband, Ekundayo Adeyinka Adeyemi, who is being memorialized today. I want to express my deepest gratitude to FOMA, to ABU, to the AAF Foundation, and to the NIA, especially the Kaduna chapter, for this thoughtful gesture. Your efforts to recognize my husband's contributions and legacy mean the world to our family. Adeyinka was a remarkable individual who touched countless lives in his approximately 5 decades of academic service. His selflessness, kindness, and generosity inspired many, and his memory continues to motivate us to make a positive impact. This honor is a testament to Ekundayo Adeyinka Adeyemi's enduring legacy, and I'm grateful that his memory will live on through this recognition, even as his life and legacy continue to inspire us all as we continue to strive for excellence, compassion, and kindness in our service to humanity. Thank you again for this heartfelt tribute. I may not be here in person, yet I am, and immensely grateful to everyone, the donors, the organizers, the friends and well-wishers. May your good work be rewarded far more, and your legacies also be marked in the sands of time for this generous attributes and for generations to come. God bless you all.
Thank you so much. So I'll just add a few words to build on what my has said on behalf of my mom. So I'll be speaking on behalf of the family. All protocols duly observed. Today we gather to unveil a bust in honor of our father, Professor Ekundayo Adeyinka Adeyemi. This is more than a tribute in stone. It's a celebration of a man whose life's work shaped generations, whose impact still echoes in classrooms, universities, and whose legacy continues to inspire. It was really it was here that he found the most fulfilling years of his career, mentoring students, pushing the boundaries of architectural thought, and
Architect Zaria is not the chairman of the state chapter, is the immediate past chairman. Quickly, let me go to the tribute. I will read on behalf of my chapter. The chairman is unavoidably absent from today's event. Tribute by architect Wale Ajayi at the unveiling of the course of late Emeritus Professor E.A. Adeyemi. Let me stand on the existing protocol. Today, we gather to celebrate the life and legacy of an icon, a pace setter, a revered academic, Emeritus Professor Ekundayo Adeyinka Adeyemi. On this special occasion of his 80th posthumous birthday, it is a great honor for me as the NIA Chair Special Project and the immediate part chair of the Nigerian Institute of Architects NIA State Charter to stand before you and pay tribute to this towering figure in the field of architecture on behalf of the esteemed members of NIA State Charter, the state of origin of Baba Adeyemi. Baba Adeyemi was more than an architect. He was a visionary, a mentor, and a trailblazer who laid the foundation for the profession we proudly practice today. His invaluable contributions to architectural education and practice provided a platform upon which we can thank our life people today. He set the standard of excellence, pushing the boundary of knowledge and professionalism that continue to inspire us all. As an entity man, I cannot help but I will pride whenever the name Professor E.A. Adeyemi is mentioned. He was the first professor of architecture in sub-Saharan Africa, and this singular achievement remains a source of great inspiration. Baba put equity on the global map, demonstrating that with dedication, intellect, and perseverance, we can achieve greatness and leave an indelible mark on history. I extend my deepest appreciation to the friends of Mobolaji Adeni Ifoma and the ABU Architects Foundation, I think I'm right, yes, for their foresight in collaborating to honor the legacy of the father of architecture in Nigeria. By unveiling this post today, not only recognize the great man, but also taught us, the younger generation, the true essence of honoring our heroes and heroines, those who paved the way for us and whose legacies we must uphold. To the Ahmadu Bello University community, thank you for providing a prestigious institution as a platform through which we can celebrate Baba. It is only fitting that we do so in the place where he devoted many years to molding minds and shaping the future of our profession. Even until he transitions to glory, Professor Adeyemi continued to contribute meaningfully to the growth of architecture in Nigeria. His influence extended far beyond the classroom into policy, practice, and mentorship. The footprints he left behind are evident in the success of many architects who had the privilege of learning under him, working with him, or simply being inspired by his remarkable journey. Today, as we unveil this post in his honor, let us remember that this is more than just a monument. It is a symbol of its enduring impact, a reminder that true greatness is not measured by weight, but by the life we touch, the knowledge we impact, and the inspiration we leave behind. Baba, today being your 88th posthumous birthday, we celebrate you and we remember you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much for that tribute. We have a short video tribute today from Professor Adeyemi, the Vice Chancellor, University of Bello.
My name is Unveiling Adeyinka. I'm the Vice Chancellor of the University. It is a privilege for me to say some few words concerning the late Professor Ekundayo Adeyemi, who I had the opportunity to interact with my sojourn at the Federal University of Technology and Training. I was there in October 1991, sometimes in February 1999. Professor Adeyemi is a highly respectable personality in the community, local community. No wonder when each time you see him, even exude, because all the hair, every hair that can count, on his head is gray. So we usually refer to him as Bello. If there is rapport, one thing or the other, just go to him. He will accept me. He's a very cerebral, and very, very mature. A privilege to not say this to what's happening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan. At this point, for the keynote speech, I would want to call on none other than the President of NIA and the visionary of this event here today, Architect Unveiling Adeyinka Adeyemi, NIA. Round of applause.
Thank you very much. I usually like to stand halfway between the pulpit and the stage. Not because of proportion and size, but so you can see me better. Good afternoon. It is a little bit quiet here. We're celebrating the 88th posthumous birthday of late Professor Adeyemi. Can we stand up and say happy birthday in heaven? Happy birthday in heaven. I needed to shake you up a little bit. I saw one was getting tired. So can you congratulate somebody beside you and say, it's great to be here today. I'm happy I'm here today. Let's celebrate our elders, our founders, and let's celebrate ourselves. Students, it's good to have you. We were all like you sometimes. Thank you very much. You can all be seated. At least you stretch your legs a little bit. Everybody's been standing or kneeling or bending on the protocols. As an architect, I would like to design it. So, and let me start, of course, with our host, the Vice Chancellor of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Very ably represented here, sir. Thank you for hosting us. Deans and heads of departments present. Members of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. Let me recognize the members of the strategic committee here, the AGS, Architect Bello, the chair admissions, Architect Babaji, and here. Chair Kanyo, please stand for recognition. Chair Kaduna, where is he? And Chair Bauchi on the camel. I keep saying it because Architect Kamal always threatens you get to anywhere in this country on a camel. So I assume, sorry, Katina, I assume he's here by camel. You're welcome. Also, the very distinguished fellows of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. These are the very eminent, distinguished, wise men and women of our profession. Distinguished fellows, kindly stand for recognition. You are an inspiration, and I want the students to see you and recognize you. Please clap for all the fellows present of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. Thank you very, very much. I recognize and appreciate you. Thank you for the support. And of course, because I'm in ABU, okay, before I get to that, the honored family members of Professor Adeyemi, they've spoken. What a tribute. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining. In regards to mommy, we will visit her. We'll come and see her in Ekiti. It's a promise. And now to my constituency. If I probably may go with you, they'll think I'm one of you. Great ABU students. We've had breakfast. Great ABU students. Great Department of Architecture students. Let me also recognize in our midst the president of the National Association of Architecture Students. Are you here, Ramlat? Yes, clap for her. Don't let me say another female president. Yes. Oh, thank you. You see? Today is a profoundly special day, not just for me, but for everyone who passed through the walls of the Department of Architecture of this great university. Let's celebrate you. Clap for it. The oldest, and the best school of architecture in Nigeria. All right, I say it anyway. No apologies. If you didn't come to ABU, I'm sorry, we can still offer you masters or PhD programs. You can still join us. I stand here to celebrate the life and contributions of a visionary, a pioneer, and a legend in the field of architecture, late Emeritus Professor Ekundayo Adeyinka Adeyemi. It's an immense privilege to stand before you to honor his enduring legacy, which has shaped the profession and continues to inspire generations of architects. My chairman, past President Ibrahim Haruna, distinguished fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, one of our seniors, one of our mentors. I want to thank you especially for coming here. When I told you we were coming to honor Professor Adeyemi, you said you had to be here. It shows appreciation and it shows commitment. And thank you very much, sir. The Department of Architecture, where Professor Adeyemi served, with distinction, has been the foundation of successful professional journeys for many of us gathered here. When we went to the Vice Chancellor's office earlier to pay a courtesy visit, I told him that out of the 30 presidents the NIA has heard, at least 20 have been from Ahmadu Bello University. That's a testament of the great distribution. It is therefore a great honor to collaborate with ABU Architects Foundation, and I want to thank Architect MJ Faraja, the chair of the Board of Trustees, of which I'm also a member, by the way. So I'm actually wearing two hats, or is it two scarves? So I want to thank you for collaborating in launching the MSC E-Studio and the unveiling of the bust in memory of a man whose impact remains indelible. As we gather here today, I'm reminded of the shared experiences we all have meeting our esteemed HOD at our admission into ABU. I entered in 1977. His fatherly presence, his gray beard, I think he's always been gray. Bookie will ready to attest to that. His gray beard, his afro, you remember? And of course, his reassuring smile. It instilled confidence in all of us. His words of encouragement empowered me. I remember myself in particular. I got into architecture. I don't know, students, if it's the same. In our days, it used to be called architecture. Architecture. I don't know who designed the lecturers to be torturers, but indeed there was a lot of torture in the studios at that time. We used to spend days and nights. We became nocturnal beings. And I think it's still telling on many of us till now. Many of us still can't sleep early. And so, for many of us who were so timid, not sure, would we be able to do this? Like my past president said, Professor Adeyemi himself was the one who instilled in us the confidence. And I'm sure many of us share similar memories of his kindness and mentorship, which have united us in our shared journey in the Department of Architecture. These shared experiences and memories bind us together uniquely and profoundly. Today, we come together to unveil his bust. We celebrate Professor Adeyemi's remarkable achievements, his passion for innovative design, and his unwavering commitment to mentoring young architects. His influence at Ahmadu Bello University, where he served as a distinguished professor, continues to resonate with students and faculty alike. I have no doubt that he's smiling down upon us today as we take steps to further strengthen the legacy of this esteemed institution through the MSC E-Studio initiative. He was a distinguished academic whose reputation extended far beyond Zaria. Professor Adeyemi also served as head of department at Federal University of Technology at Akure and Covenant University, Otta. Indeed, it is right to call him not just father of architecture, but grandfather of architecture. My own personal experience, while I was a student, he was a father to me as my HOD. My daughter, who studied architecture in Covenant University, I got there to meet Professor Adeyemi as the HOD. Can you see he was not only a father, but a grandfather of architecture. Alas, he couldn't wait to see my granddaughter in Covenant meeting. His contributions to architectural education and practice remain unparalleled. At the Nigerian Institute of Architects, we take immense pride in honoring Professor Adeyemi's memory and recognizing his lasting influence on our profession. His legacy of excellence, creativity, and service is one that we remain committed to upholding. To the Adeyemi family, we extend our deepest gratitude for sharing this remarkable man with us. He probably spent more time in the department than with you. As we commemorate his 88th posthumous birthday, please know that your loss is also ours. However, his memory will continue to inspire us to strive for greatness in our profession and beyond. We're truly grateful for the opportunity to celebrate his life and legacy with you. Your generosity in sharing Professor Adeyemi with us is a testament to the strength of your character and the depth of your love for him. I also extend my deepest appreciation to former AF and all friends and colleagues who who have generously contributed to making today's event possible. Presence and participation today are a testament to the profound impact Professor Adeyemi had on our lives and on our profession. There's a full list of contributors that is attached. I'm sure some have been read out. And we express our heartfelt gratitude for your support in bringing this vision to life. In conclusion, I express my profound gratitude to the VC, Professor Kabiru Bala, and the ABU community for their unwavering support and for granting approval for the erection of his bust and providing the platform to launch the fund for the MSC E-Studio in the Department of Architecture. Let me also specially thank today's chairman again, Architect Ibrahim Haruna, past president of NIA and adjunct lecturer at the Department of Architecture, for your unwavering support. I also recognize the invaluable contributions of the Dean of Environmental Studies, Architect Professor Abdullahi. Please clap for him. Kaduna Chapter Chair, Architect Steve Filia, where are you? Don't stand behind me, let them see you. Please clap for him. And the former team who ensured the success of today's event. Architect Wale Ajayi, who traveled all the way from Ekiti State. Please, Professor Adeyemi is not only from Ekiti State, he belongs to all of us. Am I right? Yes. Thank you. Ekiti is the state of professors, so we understand. Members of the Kaduna and Kano chapters, my Kano chapter chair, thank you for always supporting me. Members of Kano, my sister, thank you very much. All the female architects, please, I'll still call the male. All the female architects, please stand up for recognition. Please clap for them. Thank you. Female students, you can join. You still become female architects. Come, join us. Stand up for recognition. Very good. Having recognized the female architects, I may not need to recognize the male architects. Well, also, I'd like to recognize all the fellows again and thank them and all the members of the NIA present today. Today marks the official launch of FOMA's mission to transform schools of architecture in Nigeria. The establishment of an endowment fund for the annual Mobolaji Adeyemi prizes for the best students in design, both at PSC and MSc levels, and the best female students, MSc and PSc levels. Second is the unveiling of the bust of Professor Adeyemi, and the third is the launching of the fund for the MSC E-Studio in collaboration with AAF. I want to thank everybody for being a part of this historic occasion. Thank you for your presence. It means so much to me. May Professor Adeyemi's legacy continue to inspire and shape the future of architecture in Nigeria. I thank you very much for listening.
Another round of applause for the President, NIA. I must add that she's giving even younger than she was on her last visit. A round of applause for her, please. We'll be having a cultural dance drama. This is going to be presented by the Theatre and Performing Arts Department. The dance drama, please.
Thank you very much. About presentation, about
NEPA is gone, so just shift back.
Line in.
Thank you very much for that presentation. It's definitely a relief that we do not have to go through that to take our wives these days. We'll be going into the launch of the appeal fund for the MSC E-Studio. At this point, I would want to call on Architect Stephen Filia, the chairman of the Kaduna chapter, NIA, to give a brief on the project, please. A round of applause for Architect Stephen Filia.
Let me stand on existing protocol and appreciate their excellencies on the high table for this privilege to give a brief on the MSC E-Studio that will be launching an appeal form today. I want to start by saying today's gathering is a testament of the visionary leadership of Madam President of the NIA, who is the convener of the Friends of Mobolaji Adeni, and also members of the AAF, which is the ABU Architects Foundation, to honor the enduring legacy of the first professor of architecture in Nigeria. The MSC E-Studio is investing in the future. We are today launching this initiative in order to elevate the quality of architectural education and research in Nigeria, especially in the Department of Architecture, Ahmadu Bello University. As we gather to celebrate Professor Adeyemi's passion and values, I'm confident that he will be delighted to see us, his professional progeny, united in our pursuit of architectural excellence. We honor his legacy by continuing to push the boundaries of our profession, exploring new frontiers in global architecture. The items that we hope to equip this MSC E-Studio are, we will have table listing essential items, gadgets, and devices for an E-Studio include the following: prototyping cards, boards, computers with powerful conference models using various functions, and also group video ergonomics, immersive digital gadgets, smart interactive VR headset, large touch screens display with active noise, Revit and Rhino item functions. We are also supposed to provide engines like helps in 3D walking using these virtual reality headsets with noise cancelling headsets, high quality headphones, and mode testing high performance software in AutoCAD, Render and Unreal engines, Lumion, Twin Motion, D5, machines that print 3D, digital boards, augmented reality, design software and hardwares for comfort, Oculus Meta Quest 3 capabilities. We are also going to have workstations with all the necessary furniture that is required for digital presentation, real-time project analysis, and we'll have shared workstations, processors, and graphics. We will have headphones, like I said, for visualization that will ensure that you will be able to immerse into the reality of some of the designs. Yesterday, as we were going around with Professor Abdullahi, he was saying that sometime he was in Harvard In fact, at one position, he was able to see all their studios, people walking inside. And now I began to imagine that when we have these smart screens in the E-Studio, you will even have our MSc students taking lectures from Harvard, from MIT, and other high institutions that all over the world, that we will be able to have networking collaborations. So these are some of the facilities that we'll be providing. Of course, there will be high-speed internet and equipment, that is routers, connectivity and networking infrastructure will all be provided in the E-Studio. And our estimate, based on the current prices of these items and the construction of the studio itself, will cost nothing less than 50 million naira. Thank you. As we move further, there is an animation of what we're thinking the E-Studio will be looking like, and we'll be taking the animation shortly as we move further in this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Like you said, we have visual representations of what the E-Studio should look like, but as soon as the light is restored, we'll play it for everyone to see. At this point, I would want to call on the immediate past chair of the Kaduna chapter, Architect Sam Obaje, to introduce the chief launcher for today. Architect Sam, please.
Thank you. Let me also lean on existing protocol. The chief launcher for today is no other person but Architect Usman Arabi Musalu, FNIA. You can come. Architect Arabi Bello had his first school leaving certificate in 1975 from Command Children's School in Kaduna. He then proceeded to Federal Government College Kaduna where he obtained his West African certificate in 1980. After that, he came into SBS in ABU Zaria here and had his IGMB in 1982. And then he proceeded to the Department of Architecture, ABU, where he had his BSc in 1985 and MSc in 1987. He came back to Zaria again and did his MBA in 1993. His work experience. After graduation, after his NYSC, he started a firm, Bello and Associate, and has been there as a principal partner from 1988 up till this moment. He did his NYSC in Lagos with master plan design. Some of the projects he executed various projects across in Nigeria. I'll just mention a few. He did the PTDF headquarter tower. He also did the EFCC headquarters in Abuja. The African Reinsurance Corporation head office building, also in Abuja. The Central Bank of Nigeria branch building, Brenin Kebbi in Kebbi State. The FIRS new office building, Ikeja in Lagos State, just to mention a few of the projects, because there are a lot of projects here. So. His membership of the institution is a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. He's also registered with the Architect Registration Council of Nigeria. He's an associate member of the Nigerian Institute of Management. He's a member of Institute of Directors, London, a member of Institute of Directors, Nigeria, a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants, Nigeria. He also has some unpublished work, one of which is the Nigerian Debt problem, nature and impact, and also the Islamic Conference Center. Conference Center, yes, Yola. This is just a brief of what he has done. So please put your hands together for architect Ahmadu, who is the chief launcher for today's E-Studio launching.
I wonder, is it morning or afternoon? The chairperson, not only a senior in architecture, but a senior in golf. I don't know which is a bigger passion for him. Is it architecture or is it golf? Because once you're in that field, things change. Anyway, my pal president, I remember a few years ago when we met in Kaduna, when the PNIA said, if you want anything to succeed, give it to the pal president. She knows how to energize people. And today she almost made everybody in this hall dance. So you can see how vibrant she is. The members of the high table, my brothers and sisters, because that's what you are anyway, because I think we share the same father, only maybe from different mothers, but we're good. The languages are just changing. But more importantly, I think it's the sincerity that matters. And I think the friends of our proud president have really, really done well. I think I've told her offline, not on the main platform, that she's doing very well and I'm sure she's going to succeed. But success does not come because you have money or you don't have money. I think it comes because of your sincerity and what people believe you can do. Without talking too much, I know she can do it. I know her friends can do it. And like I said, I must confess, I've been taken by surprise. I know some people have donated. I don't have an idea of what we're looking for. I don't know what we are going to donate. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that from that side of the house. But before I say anything, I'll crave your indulgence to ask how many of my classmates are here, those of class of 87. Please, could you stand up? So easily we are 6. The chairman, Kaduna chapter, is also in our class. So yeah, so we are 6, I think. I thought it would be more. Is there any class that can boast of having more than 6 people here? Let me see. 5 people? 5 of the same classmates here? 4? President, I'm getting somewhere. Can you see what you mean? 3 people? 3 people, none? Come on. She's a poor president. Okay, 2, just two people from the same class. Where's the other person from your class? Okay. you guys are forgiven because if nothing else, you keep us well entertained on the platform. So we appreciate your presence. So what I was getting at is the support you have that makes you who you are. These 6 guys that have just gotten up, we all live, okay, some of us live in the same places, some we don't see for ages, but once we see, it's like yesterday. Believe you me, Bashir was just showing me a picture we took in 1980. I and Kabiru were praying, and then he said, look at these guys that were pretending to pray. Now they are something else and whatever. You know what I mean? It's so nice when life just flies by. Huh? Okay. Well, he was trying to demote Yinka to our class. Yinka was a year ahead of us, yeah? Yinka Williams was a year ahead of us. But we accept her in our class, no problem, because she's a good friend. So like I said, donations, why I mentioned the issue of the proud president, because today she's just been very modest because she's on the high table. But I know, because I was told, even before I knew how these things were done, that if you want to mobilize anything, if she's not there, the chance of success is really, really very limited. The president before her said that, and she proved it. Philia, can you remember when you were trying to raise money for your office in NI office for Kaduna? She was a person that single-handedly bullied almost everybody, and you got what you got. So I think if I were you, I would still hold her hand again and get bullied. A slight mistake when Sam was reading I don't know what he was reading anyway, because he asked me actually to give him a brief whatever about myself. I said, I don't know you, I don't know myself. If you want to know me, please ask somebody else, not me. Because really, I don't know what I do, because I don't do things to keep in my head. I do things as it comes my way. So really, I don't know much. The one I want to correct is when you said a partner in Ekundayo. Yes, that is true. In 1988, we found a farm, Ekundayo. But I mean, 10 years later, we parted with my very good mentor, Eric Wanyakwena, and we're very, very good friends up to now. By the way, nobody should think otherwise. And I now formed Bello and Associates, which is a wholly owned farm of mine, so that we don't get confused as we move along. And a few other mistakes here and there, but really they don't matter. So on behalf of my class first, which I think is very, very important to me, we would like to make a donation of 1 million naira. And then on behalf of myself and my farm, because of my pal president, I make a donation of 1.5 million naira. Thank you very much. I guess I'm free to sit down. Am I? Thank you.
I had started calling a list of donors earlier on, and I have 20 other names on the list. We have architect Kelechi Oyike, Codex Associates, Adebowale Aina Ndukayode. We have architect Abdullahi Ngidado Muhammad, architect Habu Muhammad Sheikh, architect Dauda Turaki, architect Muhammad Bako Ismail, architect Usman Karaye Umaru, architect Ululaja Balogun, architect Ulubumi Badabesi, architect Ogona Ogu Chioma, architect Sunday Oyewale, architect Bamidele Remi Ajimi, 360 degrees habitat engineer Ajisabe Akinbui, architect Musafar Amina Ahmed, architect Aliyu Yarima Usman, architect Oladimeji Adene, architect Aminat Oni, architect General John Sheliza, architect S.J. Filia, Nigerian Institute of Architects Kaduna State Chapter. I have with me the co-launchers of today, who are our fellows of the Institute. So I will be calling your names from the list of fellows. We have architect Mutala Babaji, the chairman of Admissions Committee.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of my committee, I will do this in 100%.
Architect Bashiru Adamu FNI.
Take the mic. No, not this one.
Am I supposed to stand up talking about this? Because I'm down here, so I probably decide. I'm here actually to announce the donation, not just for myself, but another classmate. I think there were 6 of us, including the 7th is the third week. Who was last week also announced the donation. And I would make a matching donation, can't exceed the third week, of 250,000 as well. The Chief Marshal has already made a donation on our behalf. If you take him out, leaving 5 in that 1 million, that means we all have 200,000 each. Basic arithmetic. So, and I also want to remind that Sally had earlier made a donation of 250,000. So I think the class of the 7, I'm waiting to see him with yeah. And I think some people really thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the class of 87. We have next Architect Akin Olafimihan. Architect Salisu Abubakar, FNI.
Well, I don't match those guys in practice. But I think I do something because of 100 people.
Thank you very much,
Madam President, I wanted to actually tell the whole class that he was my mentor when I was in MSC. And we really had a very fun time. Because one, I think I was his first student as a mentee. What? But there are two different kinds of students. He was a first class student. I was what was I saying? So for what he has done for the additional 100,000 on his account.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. It's good to be a teacher. This is my 40th year after graduating from uni. And there's something I will do for the school. I'm a very proud person. I love being a teacher.
Thank you very much, Dr. Salisu. We have the immediate past chairman of Kaduna chapter, Architect Samuel Obaje.
Okay. On behalf of myself and my wife, we pledge 100,000.
We'll be distributing a pledge form in the audience. So those who want to make pledges can fill the form and fill the form, which will state the amount they're pledging. Next on my list, I have Architect Kabiru Bello, FNI.
I'm sure I'm going to be the president. Put my name there. I still stand on the existing protocol. I hope you don't go out. Also in class of 87. Till you go back to 7. But actually I don't have matches. But from my retirement pension account, I can make I'll go for 300,000.
Thank you very much. Next on my list, I have architect Bello.
Existing protocol. That's what makes it simple. I'm afraid of disclosing what I will say. So I think I will keep it close.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Architect Bello, FNI.
As part of the existing protocols, I donate 100,000.
Thank you very much, sir. Architect Mustafa Mukhtar, FNI.
Thank you very much. I'm pledging a sum of 300,000.
Thank you very much, sir. Architect Ahmadu, Personal State Chapter. That should be a big donation.
Actually, I'm to donate some of 50,000 from my personal account.
Thank you.
And the 250,000 from Personal State.
I have Architect Chamberlain on my list.
I'd like to recognize Madam President, who's our chief host today, my lecturer from Zaria as well, our past president, Haruna, and one of our other past lecturers also as well from Zaria, who also happens to be an old boy in my secondary school, MTC Canada. I made a donation earlier of 250, and I would like to add 150,000 to it. And I've got 100,000 for the two of my lecturers. On behalf of each of my lecturers, 100,000, making 450. That's 350,000.
Thank you very much for that contribution. Architect Baba Isu.
What is really acknowledging him for doing that? I remember when he was here. He was one of our big boys then. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you.
PNIA, the head of the department. I will first state that this project we are working on is very good, extremely good, and it's timely. On behalf of our class of 75 to 80, which
I worked in here and I found out. I was standing alone. Standing alone in the sense that I don't want to be with you. And it feels so intimidating. But again, I have good friends from ABU. I would always come and use the data room all the way from Jos. And my first contact, and my only contact with Professor Adeyemi was one of the main reasons I thought I would be here. He inspired me to no end when it came for external examinations. After so much academic exercise, he said to Architect Chancellor, I don't know where he is now, I'd like to know your contribution to the field of architecture in Nigeria. Chancellor was like, excuse me, sir, I'm only but a student. how can you be asking me at this level on my contribution to the field of architecture? And the gentleman, so elderly, took all of us down some maze, like I said. I wanted so much to become an architect, even though I had struggled to get in there. Meeting architecture, refusal to be registered because I didn't one of a kind event. I wish I had more money. One of a kind event. I wish I had more money. I'll give my humble contribution of 200,000.
Thank you very much for that donation. There's a very important name on the fellow list that I haven't called. The chairman of Kaduna State, the present chairman of Kaduna State chapter, architect Stephen Filia.
I will be giving 200,000 on my behalf, and then I will also give in honor of my lecturer, architect Salisu Abubakar, 50,000 naira.
Thank you very much. Our dean, architect Abubakar Abdullahi.
If you are a long grammar, maybe probably the relation can be much. But since it's cash, so I'm going to make a humble donation of 100,000 naira.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to call on our chairman of events today, Architect Ibrahim Abdullahi Haruna, FNIA, PPNIA.
I think it's really missing. Because even NIA has stopped taking money from the public. They say once you are at that age, so, she said no to donations. Well, anyway, keep my own silent. Maybe it's not only me to do that. Maybe I think the best is to make it a policy issue in our company. What the system consultants and we'll do that later. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I am done with the fellow list, and I want to call on none other than the son-in-law of Professor Adeyemi, Mr. Oluseyi Oyishipo. Round of applause for him.
Thank you very much. I'm the chairman of this occasion, the president NIA. Each time I'm in a forum like this, even when my father-in-law was still alive, I do follow him to most of the NIA conferences in Enugu, in Ogisi and Ikogosi, in the Ibadan before Madam became president. And each time we go around, I say, why do people talk a lot about him? He said, Sheyi, Adeyinka Adeyemi talking to you right now. Professor Adeyinka Adeyemi is bigger than Adeyinka Adeyemi standing before you. And I wonder, I continue to look at him. And one thing I observed about him is that he's a very calm personality. I've never seen quarrel with anyone. And funny enough, before he became the vice chancellor of FUTA, I came all the way from Lagos to greet him. And then I had gone to him because he's the former president that signified that he should be Vice Chancellor by then, because there was a quarrel. The TSN got to the house and he said they are looking for Professor Adeyemi. I said, for what? He said, we are asked to come and fetch you. I said, from where? It's TSN. I said, sorry. My father-in-law is a very quiet personality. He said, no. The given instruction is taken to Vice Chancellor of the United. And they go, we get was him, they pick that up, brought that into the Vice Chancellor's lodge, removed Professor Kwame and took him out from there. And that is it. I don't think I deserve this. But a letter came from all the way from Masu. I said, you should be the one. And I remember also during Babangida era, he was offered to become Vice Chancellor. He turned it down. He said, I want to be mentoring people in architecture. So, based on answers, I'm learning her daughter. You know, my son is an architect that she lives in Lagos. My father-in-law trained my son. But he will come to me to see my son's projects and everything. I said, Daddy, you are stressing. He said, I'm not stressing myself. Till I die, I will make sure that architecture stands in this country. And that's what decided I done. So standing before you today, to join all the ex-students of my father-in-law, I want to donate personally the sum of 200,000.
Thank you very much. We also have a donation from female architects, Kano chapter. Female architects, Kano chapter, please.
Good afternoon, members of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. On behalf of my association, Female Architect of Nigeria Community Chapter, we are going to 50,000.
Thank you very much. We have shared some pledge forms in the audience. Any pledge from the audience, please?
Good afternoon, Madam President. You are our pride. You talk about you, you're not close to me. You just make us so happy. And all the people on the items and the team. What do I always say? You know, if we talk about Professor Adeyemi, also, we talk and talk. Someone, like the Lord just said, it was always calm. So I want to say something. I was also going to make a donation. I have made already, but I will make again. Professor Adeyemi, at the end of our 10 years, I was coming to submit my work, and I made, sorry, I'm taking you a long story. Maybe I've not prepared it, but it's about Prof and how calm Prof will be all the time, of course. So I saw my classmate, he was not dressed up, but I'm not mentioning with him. He's now a chief, very important student. So I said, how come? This is our final day in third year. He said, I didn't do my work. I said, wow, how can that be? He said, yes, even though he's not going to study. Something must be done. There's no way. I wanted to say, I said, there is no way I'll leave you. We must go to the department. He said, how will I send them? I said, actually, so I waited for him. He got dressed. We went to the department. Lo and behold, Prof was standing at that popular mango tea. So we greeted Prof. He said, oh no, what happened? And everyone, we thought that Prof believed us. So I was even talking. I said, sir, he was even at the sick bay. He said, oh my God. Oh my God, I believe you went to see him. I said, yes. I was there. And then we were coming. The first day we were coming. His noise. He said, there was your way. I said, yes, sir. I was your way. So what happened? I said, his drawing is the only way through. Getting away. He said, I can imagine that. I said, what happened to your friend? I said, sir, he fainted. He knows that is the next thing that will happen. So he said, now what do we do about this? We are just thinking. I said, sir, he said, maybe we give him some time to do his work again. So we looked at ourselves, so what about leave the story? So he said, like, how long do you want to? He was just saying, he said, sir, like, he said, 2 weeks for you? Sir, that is perfect. So I said that I should escort him back to the hospital to get his treatment, and I should escort him back to the hostel. So I didn't drop my own race. I followed mention the name. So as we are running away from, we kept running back. Maybe from the children, I know you people are like, can you imagine this man believe all this story? And I expected to go to cinema and I said, please, I'm not mentioning it. Please, I have 2 good things. I assure you. And I would like to say today is one of the biggest actors in Nigeria. On our platform, whenever they went to make fun, they said, the nation is there. I said, I will not be there to protect you. So, I also want to make an additional donation of 100,000 naira.
This is a pledge on behalf of my friend who is a fellow of our institute, as well as chief government interface of our institute, honorable member of the group, also Architect Brian Mustafa, representing World constituency. Yes, we have to do this 250,000. Thank you very much.
Good day, everyone. I'm meeting to start with the European Assistant Principal. My name is Ahmadu, representing the students, and I've donated the sum of 2,000 euros.
Thank you very much for that donation from the students. I hope that challenges the other students seated in the hall. Any other donations from the audience, please? Okay. We have student pledges here. Adole Chris, a student here, has pledged the sum of 5,000 naira. Israel Samson, the sum of 2,000 naira. Johnson John Usman, the sum. Victor Linkaswa, the sum of 5,000 naira. This is definitely encouraging, and as students, I'm sure you can see in front of you and aspire to be greater than those ahead of you. Thank you very much for that contribution. We will be taking a closing remark, after which we will transit to the unveiling venue. The closing remark will be given by Architect A.S. Salisu. Round of applause for him, please.
Thank you very much. Also stay a stand on the existing protocols. Thank you very much. Has been a very, very wonderful. The President
thank you very much for coming to our school. It's our school now, but it's our school, all of us, including the chairman, Ahmadu. A round of applause for everybody here. I remember Professor Adeyemi. When I started work here, about 39 years ago, it was Professor Adeyemi I met as head of the Department of Architecture. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm the only one that probably worked with him when he was head of the department in that Department of Architecture. A lot of applause to me for being there. Now, I remember our grandfather of architecture. And I remember when I walked into his office, when I collected a letter of appointment after my NYS. That was in September 1986. And I remember when I went to assess, my body was shaking. He had his silvery beard. And there was a time I left my beard just to imitate our grandfather. Don't mind me now, I'll keep part of it. But I remember when I used to leave my beard. And I remember our former head of the department, Emeritus. He said, "You are behaving like our grandfather." I said, "Yes, sir." That was an honor then. I would also want to thank our chairman, Ahmadu, who is a big elder brother to us. I also want to thank Madam President, and just like the Dean said, I remember when we went to Ibadan, that's the first time I landed in Ibadan because of Madam President. I went to her party, and we had a very, very nice time. And I think the relationship has come all the way down. We'll never forget you, man. And also, I wanted to see your lovely husband, but he didn't come. And then your children. So you remember that I remember. Now, I would also want to thank a lot of our former students who have showed up here. They are not former students, they are our AAF. They are the ones that are keeping this to be what it is today. And I remember I used to tell people, I said, half of the architects that are working in Nigeria today graduated from Ahmadu Bello University. Please give yourself a round of applause. And you should feel very, very proud to have this lineage whereby you came from Zaria. Now, I would also want to thank all of us here for putting in all the efforts in celebrating. I remember yesterday I was having a CPD seminar and Yinka was saying that I was calling somebody tighter. Well, Professor Adeyemi is in that same category in the field of architecture. And we did not mention one very important person. I would have thought that you would have mentioned him, the elder brother. I remember him. Yes. They are the ones that designed, we don't know, the teaching hospital around the Bello University that we all know. They were designing the hospital design. And I remember Friday told me that. So they designed the hospital there. So it got a long way. It's a family of architects. Right from them up to you, isn't it? So we should also give that. And a lot of us too have siblings, children that are architects. So we should also give a round of applause. The younger ones that are coming up, you know that we have bigger shoes to fill up. Do you understand that? And we also want to have more of you coming here to lecture. It's sweet to lecture. Do you understand that? Today we've seen whereby our former students are giving us kudos for all the work that we've done over this year. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. There's nothing more that I would say, but to say thank you. Have a nice day. Let's all go back.
Thank you very much for the closing remarks. We'll all be moving to the Department of Architecture for the unveiling of the bust of Professor Adeyemi.